have landed in the States first and maybe worked a period of time there and then come to Canada, or there may be American applicants also applying to APEGGA. If you have taken the FE, then you would check that box. If you haven't, then just leave it not applicable. English language competency, okay. So there's 4 ways to provide them with evidence of your English language competency. You check either English is my native language, or I have attached a handwritten letter explaining why I am competent in the use of the English language. I have previously written the test of English as a foreign language and attached a copy of that TOEFL score, or I will be writing the TOEFL to fulfill registration requirements. So all of you can meet those requirements, yeah?
I have a small quick question.
Yeah.
The thing is that I took TOEFL like almost 3 years back, so are the scores still valid?
For the purpose of APEGGA, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, according to, what's the organization that?
ETS.
ETS, yeah. For ETS it's 2 years, right?
Yeah.
They want you to pay again and take the exam again. But APEGGA believes that that is still a valid score.
In my case, I gave a similar test for IELTS, say 4 years ago.
Right.
And do I need to tick 2 here, 2 boxes here, or just 1?
Well, actually, if you read that carefully, it says that IELTS is not acceptable.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it's still not recognized by APEGGA. I think they are always considering that, but as of today, they still don't accept it as a standard.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the requirement for TOEFL. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, the TOEFL scores required to meet the requirements of APEGGA are quite high. There's 3 types of TOEFL scores, right, that you may know of. There's a written or paper TOEFL test, there's a computer-based test, and now there's the internet-based test. The written score that you would need is 600. Okay. The computer-based test score that you need is 250. Okay, and the internet-based test is 100. Okay. These scores are very high. They're higher than any other professional organization in Alberta, higher than doctors, higher than law students at the University of Alberta. 200 written, 250 computer-based, and 100 IBT, or internet-based test. But the good news is, I can already see some of your faces going like this, right? The good news is, most people don't take the TOEFL. You'll see the second box there. What does that say? I have attached a handwritten letter explaining why I'm competent in the use of the English language. Can you all write a letter explaining why you're competent in the use of the English language? Yes, right? So you just write a letter explaining why. You know, hello, my name is this. Please consider this letter with regard to my application and my English language competency. I grew up in this country. I began speaking English from an early age. I studied English in primary school throughout the duration of my grade school education. Then I continued to use English language in my university studies throughout my undergraduate degree. I'm now studying at the University of Alberta, completing a master's in English, communicating with all my friends and colleagues in English. Or whatever your English language competency experience has been, write a letter explaining it. Okay? That letter, in combination with your Canadian PNG reference, so you will all have 1 year of Canadian experience as a requirement for licensure, or equivalent Canadian experience. You will have a PNG reference as part of that experience. That PNG will also be asked to comment on your English language competency. Your letter plus your PNG reference is enough to meet the English language competency requirement. Okay. So if you don't meet those TOEFL scores, don't worry too much. I shouldn't say if you don't meet those TOEFL scores. If you don't yet have that TOEFL score and you don't feel like paying for the exam, and you feel your English language skills are strong, write the letter, and when you have work experience, your reference will also say, I know so-and-so, he or she is very strong in communication in English and is working at a level in engineering. You know, great communication.
So in how much percentage of the cases the applicants are asked to give TOEFL? Like,
they are not asked to give TOEFL.
Okay, if they
It's
write
your
this
choice.
letter, then they are not asked.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
your letter must be strong. You know, that is an evaluation of your English language competency. When you write a letter, you're going to be looking at the grammar and the spelling and the structure, right? So that in itself is a bit of an evaluation, but to tell you the truth, I haven't seen one rejected yet.
Okay.
You know.
And why do they say it must be handwritten?
Well, because written English is a part of an English language competency. Reading, writing, speaking,
Yes,
listening.
but they say read handwritten, not typed. That's what my mind said.
It might be because they want to make sure it's you writing it. I don't know.
Yes, of course. You will sign and you will write your name there, etc. So,
Well, but if you type it on a computer, you can send at the bottom too.
If you write it in the Word or something like this, it will correct for you.
Yeah, because some other handwritings are difficult to read, right? So like, but it doesn't mean you don't know English.
You want to try to realize that somebody is going to be reading it. You know, you're not a doctor writing a prescription.
it's more formal. Handwritten letters are more formal.
As well, yeah. It might be a tradition that they have in place. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, some Canadian educated and born here students don't know how to write very well with their hands anymore because everything is computer-based now. But it's still something that APEGGA requires, so it is something that you will need to do. And it's much easier than studying and paying and doing the TOEFL, right?
Yeah, it was just an interest. Maybe you know the reason behind, but just
So,
yeah,
maybe for the professional engineer, they need you handwriting most of the time, not the computer time. It's difference. You have to write down, and everybody can know what you write.
But if you have a TOEFL, they wouldn't see it. Right? They
Oh,
will make it in such a way everybody sees it.
Yeah, but they say that it's a writing task. It's the reason.
Writing is a part of English language competency. You know, it's one of those things. It's just like speaking. If somebody can't do one of those four things, read, write, speak, or listen in English, then they're not really fully competent, right? Okay.
It's a strange example. If it was your native, and if you cannot write it, right, it doesn't. So it's a requirement which I say honestly, but we have to follow it because it's there.
Yeah. Okay. Where were we? English language competency, the bottom of page 3, right? I've lost the form. Yeah. So, top of page 4, just professional status. Some of you may be registered with organizations back home or in other countries. So you would check the second box. I previously applied for registration. Oh, no, sorry.
No.
Ignore that. The third box down. I previously applied for registration in such and such an organization in this location, and am or was registered in this organization from 1998 to present, or from 1998 to 2003 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like the organizations that are like APEGGA, or the organizations that are like Engineer Canada?
Either one. Not every organization around the world is like APEGGA.
Because back home, I remember we have two of them. Both those things, they are an organization that jurisdictions use for referring things that happen.
Okay.
And an organization, for example, mechanical engineers or association. It's like
a technical society.
like alumni association.
Well, I would assume it would be the one that's more related to regulation and jurisdiction and evaluation of engineering licensing or certification, right? I understand what you're saying. In some countries, you may only be registered with the Brazilian Association of Mechanical Engineers or something like that. Whatever the case may be, I think that's a decision that you could make. You might, in the comments section, you have a section that you can speak openly about things.